This is the BlahCade Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Freebus, a.k.a. Shut Your Trap. Joining me, as always, halfway across the world, is Jared Morgan.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, you from the Blue Room.
I am in the Blue Room. I'm in my new place now.
So, folks,
And
it's been a spell since our last podcast here, and there's valid reasons for that. One of them being that Jared's in a new location.
yeah, that's right. I've moved. Yeah, I've got my own place now. So, and it's got a room that's now dedicated as my studio and my office. So it's not a bedroom anymore. You can't see any bedroom around me. No, it's actually a room.
So does this mean we're going to see, eventually Egg Crate behind you and, twinkle lights and...
And oh yeah, I need to get my key lighting a lot better than it is at the moment. I think I do think though that the blue room behind me here is going to be perfect for chroma key.
Yeah, but then I'm going to have to chroma key.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not set up for that.
No, that's right. You need one of those portable screens you can just set up.
Right? Yeah, the quick and easy chroma key. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's see. So Jared moved. In case any of you are wondering, yes, my face is a wreck. This is what happens when you don't use sunscreen, kids, because then you get to put on the cream to adjust for all that, and it's lovely. It's like having a sunburn for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, that's right.
And what else was going on? We had some I kept on working on weekends, so that was pushing our podcast out. And then Jared is only available every other weekend, so it was then all of a sudden like, okay, I'm available, but Jared wasn't.
Yeah, it was very hard to get us in the right scheduling environment. But look, here we are.
Yes,
we're here, and there's been stuff happening in the month that we weren't broadcasting.
There has been stuff, yeah.
We got stuff to talk about. It's okay.
Yeah, and we're happy to do just that. Let's talk about just briefly. There was some real world pinball announcements. I know Spooky is coming out or announced their Halloween themed table. And when I say Halloween, I mean Halloween the movie, not pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns kind of thing.
Yeah.
For which they're also doing a second skin version, I guess. Is that what you'd call it? Yeah.
Yeah. A re-theme. Same layout, same everything. Different rules, different theme.
What was that theme, though?
It was Ultraman. It was like Kaiju battle. I can't quite remember the name, but it's definitely an Ultraman themed table, which I know that the folks at Spooky would have been absolutely jazzed to get because they love that sort of stuff.
Well, especially after them not getting the Godzilla. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, gee, it's almost like they're thinking the same way Zen is with, hey, let's go after that Asian market.
Yeah, funny that.
Interesting. What else did we miss during this time period? Was there any other... I'm trying to think if there was any other real...
I think Mando was announced. No,
that's been... We already talked about that, yeah.
We did. It's been that long. Like, it's a blur. So I think it's really the Spooky doing their two tables, and that's probably the extent of it. There's been a couple other small things. Like if you're like us, you'll be reading This Week in Pinball, and get all your news and goodness from there. But it's been relatively busy for what's going on still around the world at the moment. So it's pretty good. It's good for pinball.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Of course, there's that massive liquidation sale happening for, museum.
This is so sad. Yes, Museum of Pinball in Banning.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer because you would think here in Southern California we'd actually have a location that has a large amount of pinball tables. I mean, pinball was a huge feature on the beach around here. But we don't. It seems like all the pinball tables are in people's home collections. There's one or two. I shouldn't say one or two. There's probably a handful of locations, that are like more barcade style.
Yeah, right.
But maximum topping out at maybe between 20 and 30 tables. The location in Banning had over 500, 600 tables.
I think their whole collection is about 1,000, isn't it?
Well, that's including arcade games. So
Right.
what
Okay.
they were advertised was basically that they had 1,100 arcade and pinball games. There was 2 rooms. One room was nothing but arcade games. The other room was nothing but pinball. The pinball side of things, I believe, was close to 600 machines.
That is a colossal amount of equipment.
It literally, when I would walk into the location, you don't even know where to look.
It's like so many options.
It was literally like 6 aisles of pinball, facing each other, and I mean, like, one aisle was nothing but Williams, from front of back to the building. Nothing but Williams on
Wow.
one side and Bally on the other. That was it. Nothing but Bally and
Wow.
Williams. And then
That's
the
incredible.
row after that was virtually every single modern Stern machine. And then they had Stern Electronics. And then they had...
Data East and Sega.
Well,
And
the Data
Sega.
East was on another row.
Oh, they had their own row.
Data East
Wow.
had its own row that only went about halfway, and then it became solid state Bally and started to dip into EMs. Then they had the row of rarities.
Okay.
So there's where a lot of the spooky pinball, a lot of the like Houdini and what was the
All
other
the
one?
American,
American
smaller
pinball.
manufacturers.
Yeah, that's where I got to play the Aliens table
Yeah.
from Highway. Yeah, they had... So they had that. They had a little tiny nook of a room that had maybe 5 tables in it. That was the adults only tables.
Oh,
So it was basically Sopranos with full cursing and
Zingy Bingy.
no, they didn't have Zingy Bee, but Big Bang
Thank
Bar
goodness.
was in there. It
A
was
Big
kind
Bang,
of.
yeah.
It also was kind of the blacklight room,
Right. Okay.
which was appropriate. But no, it was just an astounding amount of pinball. And then they also were hosting It Never Drains in Southern California, which is a big
That's
tournament.
right.
And so they had that set up with the monitors above the machines and everything. And that was they set that up in the arcade room when they would do that. Just incredible, right? The problem was they were only open 4 times a year
Yeah. That's
because they got
a
screwed
weird
on
licensing
zoning.
issue. Yeah, it's a zoning issue. Yeah.
Yeah. They thought that because they were a museum, that was going to allow them to have open to the public visitation on weekends. And where this was positioned, it was right near an RV camp. So they were like, sweet, RVs are going to be able to come, park, spend the weekend. Be a nice tourist thing. And it wasn't until after they had purchased the location and were loaded in that they found out, no, just because you claim you're a museum doesn't matter. It's still a zoning issue. You can be open 4 times a year.
That is just
Which was actually, that was fine up until COVID.
right. Okay.
And I mean, so they were probably operating on very thin margins. This is all a private collection, folks.
Which is staggering. to
Yeah,
think that
it was
one
owned by, I
person
believe, the
owns it.
Weeks family, I think is who it was. They had previously all just been in warehouse storage, and they were like, well, why are we having it here? Why not let people enjoy this? And so that's why
Yeah.
they'd set this up. So, I mean, it was an incredible collection. And then they were going to move to Palm Springs, which was maybe about a half an hour from where Banning is.
Okay.
And they thought that they were going to move there and be able to then be open.
All
I don't
the
know.
time.
I don't know if it would be daily, but definitely weekends, all year round. And I guess that location needed way more work than they thought initially. So that fell through, and it became, well, we're going to auction the entire collection.
And just think what this is going to do to the pinball market over there in the US, having this glut of machines hit the market. There's going to be people probably having a very serious chat to their bank managers going, so how much can I borrow? And
Yeah, because
how
I
much-
imagine that some people are going to go there looking to buy a large portion of this.
Oh yeah. Like people just think about, Todd Tucky and TNT Amusements. That's basically going to be their inventory for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
They're going to have they'd be stupid not to go and just say, oh yeah, we'll commit to buying 100 titles. Even if they bought 100 titles, there's still plenty left over for everyone else, right?
I mean, there's some titles that it's like I would love to own
Yeah.
that aren't necessarily like They have Vector. Vector is a fantastic pinball machine. It's not nobody's list of greatest pinball machines ever, but
Mm.
it is a fun machine and something that prior to COVID, I would think would maybe be a, you know, it'd be one of those $900 to $1,200 machines.
Yeah.
Post COVID, it's now probably easily, a
About 3,000.
$2,500
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah, down here in Australia, I can tell you that a Gottlieb System 80 like I've got would easily fetch 5,500 Australian
Yeah.
dollars down here now due to COVID. And there are some people selling 90s era top 20 pins for $12,000 Australian down
Jeez.
here. Yeah, and people are buying them. That's the scarier thing. People going, oh yeah, that seems fine. And they're buying these pinball machines at that price.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I think the prices are starting to settle a little bit now. In fact, I think This Week in Pinball did an article about pinflation recently, which I haven't had a chance to read yet, but I definitely want to read. And it will be covering this very phenomenon about, all the rise in prices across pinball.
Well, you know what's crazy? So these prices are on these vintage machines are all skyrocketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you can buy a brand new Stern or Jersey Jack for $8,000, which it used to be. Oh my God, look at how expensive that is! But
Now it's like
it's like
okay.
reasonable.
Which that is ridiculous in itself.
Because, now you legitimately have to sit there and go, well, do I want a 30, 35, 40-year-old machine with aged parts and electronics, or do I want to spend the same amount and get a brand new machine that has full part support or
and warranty? And a warranty.
Yeah.
It's so strange. Like people's nostalgia really, it's bank for these people who are selling pinball machines.
Also in the price inflation news, so Arcade 1-Up's pinball machines, they're now $850.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's redonkulous.
That's too much. That's too much.
Well, now you're legitimately you're charging the same price as at games, and
but you're not giving the same sort of product.
No,
it's there's no disputing that. You can't sugarcoat it. It's
especially now that everybody's figured out exactly how to get FX3 on there and whatever else on the machine.
There's a very clearly defined path of how to get everything you want onto an at-games pinball machine and basically turn it into what's a pretty decent V-pin by doing a few mods to it.
And insult to injury, specifically with the Williams pinball, Arcade 1-Up still has not implemented Zen's patch.
No, they haven't, which is pretty crap, really.
Yeah, that's staggering to me. It's like it's ready to go. You have broken games. At least I know Whitewater for sure. Some people are saying Hurricane also has issues. I'm not sure, but point being, put the dang patch in.
Yeah, fix it. Fix it.
Especially when you're going to charge $850, which is just that's too much. It's too much.
That's like $650 was, we could probably look at getting one of those at that particular point in time when they were.
Well, it was it was $600.
It was $600.
Yeah, so the price jacked up by $250.
Yeah. Do you know what? You know what this is all about? It's about cost materials, of course. Mm-hmm. But I encountered that myself the other day. So I went and been buying furniture from IKEA like a mad person, right?
Yeah.
And putting it all together. And I thought, I'll go and I've got this table frame from IKEA that my desk is sitting on. And it's one of those ones that you can choose a 120 centimeter or 160 centimeter frame. And I thought, I'll just go and get a 160 centimeter tabletop from IKEA and upgrade the space so I don't have to buy a new frame and everything. So I went and bought what I thought was the right sort of tabletop for it. And when I got it home, of course, I got a surprise. And that is that it wasn't quite right. And I thought, it's okay. The other tabletop's solid wood. I'll just drill into it and put new holes in. Yeah. When I started drilling into it, I found a whole lot of voids in the table. And what I think IKEA has had to do is they'd have to rethink how they design these tabletops so that they don't have to have a solid piece of wood. And they only put structural elements in the table where they know they need the screw holes to be.
They're
So
basically
there's
doing
only,
like 3D printing does.
well, yeah, and essentially the rest of the table, like if I knock around there, there's solid bits, there's hollow bits. So I have no idea if I want to drill holes to put cables through the table, like I did on the other table. I've got no idea what I'm going to find underneath, and that's not really great.
Yeah.
So that's how they've solved the problem with material costs to actually keep the price at the right level. But with something like a pinball machine, you can't do that because everything's kind of structural.
The thing that bugs me with the pinball machine is I don't feel with regards to this pricing. I don't feel that people had a fair chance at buying these
At the old price,
at the old price.
Stock was so
Yeah, and so when anybody says, "Ah, well, you snooze, you lose," well, no, I'm sorry. These things were never other than in pre-order, and everybody said the pre-orders got snatched up, right quick.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say it's a pre-order at a discount price. If you wait, then the price is going to go up.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was never any kind of announcement of that sort, obviously because they didn't know what was going to happen with materials. But then for the price to just jump up that much, it's not just the pinball cabinets. It's happening to all of their arcade cabinets that Arcade One Up is doing.
Right.
But
They're all going up in price.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? I saw on an Australian Arcade One Up site that they actually, Costco Australia actually have stock of the pinball machines down here now. And they're charging Australian $1,099 for them, which surprises me. I didn't think it would be that low.
Yeah.
You have to order them directly from Costco. They're not floor stock, so you have to go through their online store and actually get them through that way. But for your $1,099, it's definitely cheaper than the $1,350 that I thought there would be.
Yeah.
But I'm still not going to jump on board and get one because I know the problems with them.
Well, and I was just going to say, now I've waited this long, and now you add in a price jump, which makes it even less appealing to me. Makes me very much more like, you know what, I can wait for the next generation.
Gen 2. Oh, yeah, you would absolutely. There's no reason at all to jump on Generation 1 stock now. Like,
no.
That ship has sailed. Like, the hype is gone for it.
Yep.
And it's just no point. They may as well just take them off the market and hold all their hardware over to the point where they're ready to do iteration 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of the price inflation talk.
Enough of market news. Pinball market news.
Right.
We need like a little trend line, right?
Right.
Needs to go.
Let's move on to, obviously, Zen took a month off also from doing the...
They did. They had the summer break, right?
Yeah, from doing the pinball show.
For us. It sort of worked for us.
Sort of,
yeah.
In an unintended manner. But they went ahead and basically they teased, and we all went, what are you talking about? That they were having a new platform. And it was like, wait a second.
Hey,
didn't Mel say we don't like having all these platforms?
Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
And yet, platforms. So
okay, sure.
The new platform that was announced is called the Zen Pinball Party. And it is going to be exclusive to the Apple Arcade. For those that don't know what the Apple Arcade is, it's basically you pay $4.99 a month to Apple, and you have access to over 150 games.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. I mean, if you got an Apple device.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're into, having basically call it a Netflix of video games.
Yeah.
Then $4.99 a month. Because I already heard from people saying, "Oh, sweet, I already pay for Apple Arcade. This is essentially free to me. It's not even a buy decision. I've already made that decision, and now this is going to be included in the package." Flip side of that is you have people that are crying bloody murder over yet another exclusive from Zen. We'll touch upon that later.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I'm affected by that. I'm not an Apple customer.
Sure.
So,
what is Zen Pinball Party? Zen Pinball Party is going to be a collection of 12 pinball tables, and we'll talk about the titles in a moment. And you're going to be able to do hot seat play on your phone or on your Apple TV, whatever. So that's nice. You'll be able to actually do that back and forth. There's a lot that they haven't announced in terms of, are there going to be tournaments? Is there going to be special events? They did say that there's going to be special events. I imagine it's probably going to be similar to what the Williams app was in terms of there being timed events for whatever purposes. We don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, we don't know what details are within the game. If there's going to be collections or unlockables, anything of that nature.
I reckon it will be.
I mean, it makes sense.
I reckon it. I think this is going to be like, basically think of Williams Pinball on Android as their test bed for this product. And what you see in that app, I would pretty much guarantee you're going to see elements of that in Pinball Party, for sure.
Especially since, from what we've seen, Zen Pinball Party is definitely aiming for a younger audience. This is going to be an all-ages game, and when we tell you the titles that are new, completely new IPs, you'll see exactly what we mean.
Yeah, exactly. But how good is that, though, right? On that subject, Zen is thinking, what markets don't we have a really good stronghold on at the moment? Oh, yeah, kids. Let's go and do something for them.
Yeah, they've pretty much already hooked us, the 35 to 55 market.
Oh yeah, they got us sewn up, right?
Yeah, and to that effect, a lot of our kids are going, "What are you playing? I'm not interested in whatever theming you have there." So bring in theming that they might actually be more interested in or familiar with, and voila, magic.
Yeah.
So
let's go into the titles.
Yes, let's go into the titles, and I'm going to present these one by one to you via picture. Ooh, hey, look at
Picatures.
that. Picture.
Ooh,
first one.
Shiny.
How to Train Your Dragons.
So,
Dreamworks license, and I'll just spoil alert right here. 3 Dreamworks licensed IPs are coming at you.
Yeah. Nice get, by the way, Dreamworks. Seems to be a reasonable licensor to get engaged with.
Yes. Definitely kid-friendly, and definitely a lot of IP beyond what we're seeing already. And in Zen's Pinball show, they had an interview with the DreamWorks IP guy, and he seemed pretty hot on the idea of more IPs coming, which I would
Why
not
wouldn't
doubt.
he feel more hot on more IPs coming? Let's be serious.
Exactly, right? Especially when you realize what IPs are missing. So, here we go. How to Train Your Dragons. At first glance, I went, "Ooh, it's Castle Storm."
Well, yeah, a little bit, but it's that upper playfield is the interesting thing.
The upper playfield is definitely interesting.
Immediately, it immediately reminds me of Time Machine by Zachariah. Look at it.
Yeah, so
it looks like one of those.
And this whole thing spins. Obviously, rotates, changing the pathways for where the ball's going to go. Something that Zen loves doing. Obviously, we've got a scoop down here. We've got the 2 ramps. This ramp looks like it has a diverter. It looks like we got an orbit on the outside here. I'm guaranteed that a pinball can be loaded onto this catapult and launched.
Oh yeah.
You'll notice right off the bat here. Let's see. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 multi-ball. There's 5. Ball. I think there's a total of 6 on this.
Oh, those 2 are captive balls by those things.
Oh, those might be captive. Oh, you're right. Those are probably captives. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but still 3 ball. It looks like we have various modes.
That
you're going to be getting here. Nicely labeled inserts. So
with actual art on them. Look, the actual. Look, this is design right here. This is what we've been saying. Yes.
I mean, even these inserts down here, they look jeweled, possibly.
They do look a bit jeweled.
Or faceted, however you want to say it. So despite it being a kid's theme, I'm actually thinking that this might have some depth to it.
It could.
Now,
who is the... Are we going to cover designers here?
Who the designer is. This one is designed by Zoltan Vary. Who's... He's not my favorite designer, folks.
No.
And there's a reason why he's not my favorite designer, because his code is usually complicated.
Yes, that's right.
But if they're trying to keep it kid-friendly, maybe that tampers Zoltan's basic instincts. Right, and maybe we have,
something that's quite flippable here. Look, the layout looks like a nice fan. It looks pretty open.
Yeah,
there looks like some shots to make there. Look,
a couple of different images here. We got this
Dragon sticking its head out there.
Right, fire breathing dragon going out there. Looks like you can see the pop bumpers going on there. Animated characters, of course. These are going to be animation heavy, obviously.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they're going to capture I reckon you can almost guarantee they're going to use actual voice call-outs from the show as well. They're going to be voice sound alikes.
Absolutely.
They're going to be giving them good access to,
Right. There we have Hiccup flying. I forget what his dragon's name is. Toothless. Thank you. So obviously,
I only know this because the kids watch the show.
And there you go. That's precisely it. It's going to be, Dad, what are you playing? Is that dragons? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Would you like a turn, son or dear daughter? Please, the first hit is free.
I was just going to say that the first hit is free. And it looks like it has potential for some interesting lighting effects here, too.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, especially when you think, I'll go back to this image here, just with the dragon spitting some fire out here.
I mean, this is a mobile game or a Apple TV game. And, you have to bear that in mind. So what they're doing here with the lighting seems quite interesting. There's shadow on the playfield. There's some stuff here that, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out when you actually start playing this.
Yeah. And we say that, I mean, we're saying mobile because obviously phones are going to be your biggest players of Apple Arcade. Yes, if you have Apple TV on your television, you can use a controller and play it like a console. I don't think that that's the majority of the market that they're aiming at.
But I imagine, too, that Apple Arcade will work on your Mac as well.
I would imagine so, which is a big plus for Mac users because up until now...
Well, I've got a Mac, so I can probably test this out.
Right, but it's been not even FX3, right? It's still FX2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, that's a nice upgrade, at least on that front, for those people. Okay. So there's title number 1. Let's move on to title number 2, which would be Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, this definitely looks aimed at a younger audience.
It does. And is it just me, or does this seem like a squished playfield? Like, look at how much of the upper playfield is not playable. This looks like all of these ramps and lanes are halfway across, right? Which means the ball going wild and anything up here is not really a factor. I mean, this whole middle is blocked off. Then this almost has a Steve Ritchie No Fear feel to me, where it's ramps and lanes, except for the fact that there's actual targets right here.
It's incredibly fan layout.
Incredibly fan, but it's not long shots. That's what I'm saying.
It's like these are short Mushroom
shots.
World. It's like it almost feels like a 3/4 scale Mushroom World pinball.
Right. I mean,
it does. And like what they've done is it feels like, the criticism that a lot of people said with Arcade 1-Ups, Marvel and Star Wars pins, where they say, oh, the bottom third is all just
air.
Arch. Yeah. It's air. It's unplayable. Yeah. Well, they've reversed this. It's like the top half is all, air.
Yeah. So I worry about that. So I'm not that. It's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I don't know how well that's going to work. We'll have to wait and see what the flow of the table is and where it is fun. You'll notice though that so you got this ramp here, right? Ramp, boom, dumps down to the flipper. This ramp comes around here. This is the only ramp that might be dangerous coming down, but if it does you got this mini playfield diverter, that goes straight to the, feeds to your flippers. A lot of these table designs, you'll notice there's a lot of feeding to the flippers. Less ball wild, more feeding it.
More control.
More control, yeah. By the way, these are all going to be using Zen physics, not Williams arcade physics.
Wonder why they chose to do that.
Again, kid-friendly.
It's easier. It's easier.
It's easier.
True.
But hey, look at that. 4 multi-balls.
4 balls on the table. That's going to be interesting to play.
That's not bad. Designer. We have a new designer, folks. This is designed by Peter Pewitt Kovacs. And Peter has been with the team for years, but just got promoted to table designer.
Hey, good on you, mate.
So this will be his first.
This is his first go at the table. That's pretty exciting.
Yes.
because it doesn't. It looks quite nice. It looks playable.
Yeah, looks playable.
So, yeah,
Another shot here. Obviously, animated characters going on here with was it Poe? Is that his name?
Poe. Yeah,
I don't know. Master
Fu.
Master who?
Fu.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
All right. But obviously, again, diverter ramp here, sending it up to the what looks like this waterfall. I like these pop bumpers with ramen noodles. I think that's pretty funny. I would hope they splashed, but I doubt that's going to happen.
It would be good if they splashed. Yeah, I mean that's definitely in the intro. They've taken all the tropes from the Kung Fu Panda series intro, like the TV series.
Yeah,
because this looks like what it's based on.
Yeah, I doubt they got Jack Black doing the voice.
No, but the sound alike that they got to do Poe in the DreamWorks animated series is actually pretty good. Like he captures the essence, so they'll probably just use him.
What I found interesting is this waterfall in the back, because we go to this next picture. Oh, look, ball goes doink, 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 and then drops down. I kind of like that. It's kind of
that's cool.
It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it can go down either path or if it always is going to drop down the same path. I
wonder if you control the wood and actually guide the ball. Yeah.
Possibly. And I'm trying to see, because it looks like there's obviously a target back here. We've got a stand-up target, and there's got to be another target behind the waterfall, I imagine. But anyway, so there's that one. Moving on to our third title, which will be my least favorite. Trolls World Tour.
Whoa. That is very visually busy.
It's exceedingly visually busy.
But, the kid's going to love it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. Hug hour. Oh, dear.
I'm not. This one is going to be hard for me to win me over. We cannot tell you who the designer is because Zen wouldn't tell us. They said that they're saving it as a reveal. It's a new designer also.
A new designer. Okay.
So they're saving that for. I guess they're going to do maybe, I don't know. I don't know why this one gets the special designer reveal, or if it's a matter of when we zoomed in really close to try and see the names on the table. This is the only one that I couldn't read because the sparkles on the table were blocking out who the designer was, whereas the other three tables I was able to read it. But I don't know. This one just.
That's
I'm not necessarily.
That's got a lot going on.
I really don't care for the theme. Just I've never seen the movie, and the movie doesn't want to make me watch it in the least. So
no, I think you've got to sort of like have some sort of resonance with the theme of these tables. It's like if you walk up to something like Sopranos and you've never seen the show, you can play the pinball table, but you go, well, I have no idea what the tropes are, so therefore I'm not really getting this game. Which happened to me just yesterday because I played Sopranos.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sure. I'm sure these all mean something. I have no idea what it means.
But again, if you look here, ramp feeds directly to the flipper. Ramp feeds directly to the flipper.
That cloud dude is basically a ball lock where it traps the ball.
Right.
So
obviously we've got a scoop here. We've got a scoop here.
Pop bumpers are the things in the middle.
Right. There's some ramp thing back here that drops down. I don't know how you would shoot that necessarily, but that's obviously a drop target down. I'm guessing these are stand-ups. I don't know. I can't tell if they're drop targets or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I'll say this: at least it's colorful. And I hope
it's definitely a vibrant looking play field. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that while it may not be appealing to us, they have actually, because I know this universe a little bit because I have seen the movie, the first one. So they've definitely nailed the brief on it. Like it's got everything you would expect from this movie in it. So I wonder if they're going to get Anna Kendrick to voice the pink troll, because that's who does it. That'd be probably a no.
I'm guessing sound-alikes.
Yeah, probably sound-alikes than that.
I'm guessing sound-alikes.
Unless they can just lift sound from the
directly from the movie. Yeah, right.
Which they might have the option to do.
And I keep on saying this or thinking about this too when I'm looking at these. I'm not the market. I'm not who they're trying to appeal to.
No.
So I'm not going to be hypercritical of it because I'm not their target audience. you
I can
know.
tell you that Sienna would lose her mind over this.
Okay.
Like she would love this. This is like a girl's
Little
theme.
close-up action. There's the Cloud, who apparently is the star of the show. Everybody loves the Cloud, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Looks like he's had a tough
there's a,
day.
there's a reason why he's in a cloud. It's 420 somewhere.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I see these neon green habit trails. I see the troll popping up, and I just go, "Well, can we just get Roller Coaster Tycoon instead?"
Yeah. Yes.
Who, when they put that stupid troll toy on that was the cheapest, lamest toy ever.
They
It was
were
like,
phoning that in.
really? You went and paid $1.99 and plunked that on the table.
Because you needed something.
Bang up job.
Great work.
And then one more shot here. Oh, look, sparkles. Or fireworks.
Looks like there's lots of. It looks like the if you go back a screen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that upper playfield area, and then go back another screen. There's definitely a change in coloration of the playfield if you have a look. So if you go forward 2 screens, look at that.
Where am I looking at? The upper, the changing.
Yeah, so where the entries to all the ramps and lanes are,
and
then go to the next frame. See how everything goes silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like the playfield art is going to dynamically change on this table, which is going to be interesting.
So again, let's maybe that Unreal Engine is getting put to good use.
That's different art. Like they've got the evil troll showing up in the playfield there. See how the art's changed? So think of this troll? Like, well, the one down lower
this
middle.
Here?
No, the grey one with the red hair. Yeah, that.
Oh, that.
So if you flick back a couple now, you'll see that art changes.
No.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's still there.
Same to me.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's just the actual rainbows change. So this is almost like upside down mode in Stranger Things when it goes UV. This is what it looks like to me. It looks like some sort of UV light trick, but in Zen style. So that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Right now our audience is going, really? You guys are spending this much time analyzing trolls? Oh, wait. Wait until you see the next table. Next table is My Little Pony, My Little Pony. That's right, folks. Now, it's a pastel puke of color all over pinball.
It's a pastel paradise Rhapsody. Look at it.
And here's the thing. While I normally would have immediately dismissed this table and gone, oh, hell no. Unfortunately, the designer of this one is Thomas Crofts, who's one of my favorite designers.
He knows where it's at. Oh, look, there's a jump ramp. Can you see it? No fear flip jump ramp there on the right hand side.
On the right hand side.
Yeah, see the big chocolate flipper.
Yeah.
The big ramp that goes up.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. That does launch, doesn't it? There's an interesting. So let's see where these ramps go. So we got this ramp here, comes around, feeds that habit trail. We've got this
which then goes
here,
up and feeds the chocolate flipper.
You think that feeds? Oh, no. No, I'm thinking this feeds the chocolate flipper. That pops it up and... No, I don't know. You might be right.
I don't know. I think it's too tight an angle for it to feed the chocolate flipper, that one. That's a hole, that one, that you were looking at before.
Right. So what feeds... this rainbow one feeds this here.
Yeah. There's a big center ramp.
This ramp underneath here comes across here and feeds this flipper. Yes. So again, it doesn't look like anything is going to send the ball back at your flipper other than unless this is a scoop that fires back.
That's a scoop. Yeah, that's definitely a scoop.
Yeah.
Also,
look
how the balls are all
I was just going to say, look, these are all like totally colored balls going on here. However, when we go to the next screen...
I reckon it'll be Choose Your Pony.
Now we got Silver Ball.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking it's for like multi-ball that it changes. I would love it if it's more of a case of you lock the ball and when it pops back out, it's now changed. I like that kind of thing.
Cool.
Not just having the ball, magically change. I like it that you have to pretend that it's the ceramic ball in Twilight Zone. That's what I prefer.
A bit like Avengers, how they had all the different ball, like changing ball types when you could select your character. and have the ball theme.
Looks like we have, these are going to be rollovers of sorts,
Yes.
I imagine.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this table is it is hands down the most cartoony of them all. It doesn't appear like it doesn't appear to be trying to be a real machine with real parts. You know what I mean?
No. It's definitely got a lot of creative license here, doesn't it?
Well, just because there's no chrome, I guess is what I'm saying. Everything is, even the rubber, everything just has that cell shading look, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely has a soft look to it.
In a lot of ways, it reminds me of Plants vs. Zombies.
I never got to play that,
Yeah.
so I don't have a reference. But I would imagine yes.
Just in terms of the color scheme and the realism. That because Plants vs. Zombies didn't remotely try to look real, like a real machine.
Nor should it. No.
Right. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 4 new tables that we have going on here.
Interesting.
It is interesting, and again, you can definitely tell these are very much aimed at kids.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to have, it's going to be a lot dependent upon, the parents, I think, playing a pinball game. Because I can't tell you how many kids that just during the past year when I was substitute teaching, and I would mention that I was into pinball, and how many of them were like, "What the heck is pinball?"
What is this thing called pinball?
No clue.
Yeah.
So that's why if you can't hook them on what the style of the game is, then you got to hook them on the theme. And so I think
you've got to get them on the theme. Yeah,
I think that's pretty smart of Zen. Let's briefly go into then the exclusivity nature and why
so
people.
Apple Arcade, right?
What's that?
So it's Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah.
At the current moment, Zen cannot say if any of these tables will appear anywhere else.
Right.
Now, if you put your thinking cap on, yeah, they're going to appear elsewhere.
There can be an FX, like at some point. There's going to be Apple Arcade exclusivity, just like there's Oculus exclusivity.
Because again, I'm sure Apple is, part of this partnership. I don't know how it works. Is Apple paying Zen, or I would think if Apple is licensing anything for a exclusive time period, then there's some money involved here. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You can count your chickens on that for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've just done an Oculus deal on this, which is a fair cop. And this is coming from a person who's not an Apple fanboy. I've got Android everything. The only Apple device I have is a hand-me-down iPad and my work MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
So those are the only things I have, not by choice, just because I have to use these things.
Yeah.
So, me not being able to play, potentially not being able to play these tables unless I go and subscribe for $4.99, which would be probably around $7 a month here in Australia, if it is even available here in Australia, which I think it is. That's $7 a month that I would only be spending just to play these tables. And, I may actually just subscribe to the free month trial and give it a go. I mean, that's not going to cost me anything.
And here's the other thing, that this is where it kind of boggles my mind of people's attitudes. Those Zaccaria Taito tables that are on exclusive to At Games machine? Yeah. How come all the Zaccaria fans out there aren't screaming bloody murder over that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the same deal, isn't it?
Same deal. It's the same deal with, am I supposed to get mad at Bungie for having an exclusive deal with Microsoft and Halo that I don't get to play Halo because I don't own an Xbox? There's exclusivity things all throughout your life, folks. Look around.
Yeah.
You make these choices all the time. They come, do you own every single streaming service? Are you then?
I was going to say streaming platforms. Yeah, there's your exclusivity right there.
Right?
That's daily.
Yeah. So you have a choice: make peace with not having it, or go out and
pay the man.
Pay the man. But don't get angry at the studio for diversifying
and
And
trying new licensing models
right, because I guess
and
what
revenue
bugs me
streams.
about it is that people have this like entitled thing of, well, I'm a long-standing supporter of Zen, and they're flipping the bird at me by doing this.
Yeah, well, it's like
How? I mean, they don't owe you anything. You
no,
paid them money for the product that they gave you. Now they're
yeah.
coming out with a new product. You know, and
Which
we've
is,
this
as a
isn't
consumer, your right to choose to buy or not.
right.
That's really what it comes down
And
to.
this isn't a
Do you
new
want it rough?
stance that me and Jared have. We have been saying this for years
Mm.
about
And
not.
not just for Zen.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. And then the funny thing is just hearing, older men complaining that they're not going to get to play My Little Pony is hilarious to me, or Trolls.
You can't discount. You cannot discount the brony market for
No.
this. Like that is a thing, and it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So some of this hatred you're seeing out there could just be because they don't want to openly admit exactly what's going on there.
I guess. I don't know. It's comical. So anyway, you're not going to get a sympathy from us about the exclusivity things. I will say this because the only Apple device I have is my phone. So that's obviously if I'm going to play these, I'm going to play them there. Yes, you can get a 30-day free trial from Apple.
Yep.
Those of you in the States, if you go to the Target website and sign up for Target Circle, you get 6 months of Apple Arcade for free.
Well, that's pretty good. So Target Circle is like, what is that for people who aren't in the US?
It's an app for Target, shopping centers that I believe is, can offer discounts and coupons and stuff like that.
Okay. So it's a loyalty-based system sort of thing, right?
And it's free.
Well, that's pretty good.
The app itself is, or the Target Circle is free. So, but by signing up for that, you can
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'm going to do. As soon as I hear that this comes out, I'm going to go sign up for Target Circle, and then I'll have 6 months of this and be able to mess
I'm
around.
going to do the same. Like when it comes time to, because it's Apple's constantly nagging me. Hey, would you like to try Apple Arcade?
Right.
I'm going, yeah. Well, no, not at the moment. But because the thing is that Android is doing the same thing, right? They have their own version of Apple Arcade,
right? And I don't have Android at all, so there's where I would be out of luck when it comes to this stuff.
You would be out of luck, yeah. So I just wonder if, first off, Zen will be targeting Apple, and then they might approach Google and put this out on their, essentially, it's not stream to play. I think you would still install this as an app on your device,
yes,
and then the licensing entitlements are managed through Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too, that this is not a streaming platform. This is like you get access to the actual installable app,
right?
And it goes onto your device. Like it's not a stream.
Yeah, it's not a browser based.
No,
thing.
This is legit apps that you can get access to, and it's not just Apple Arcade is. I think is it just games or is it also apps?
I don't know the answer to that.
Let's just say it's just games.
I think it's just games.
From what I understand, though, if I do a really quick internet search here now for it, we're not talking about third-tier games here. Like, this is like...
No, there's some big name games.
Yeah, these are tier 1 games that are offered on this. So there's there's all these like puzzle games and like I'm zooming out.
I know there's some new Frogger game that came out that somebody was pointing out. No, it's not crap games.
And for Australian audiences, it is $8 a month.
Okay,
which is what I expected it to be.
I will also applaud Zen on this aspect. Because me and Jared have, throughout our podcast, shown various mobile games that are aimed at kids that were pinball games, and they were utter junk.
Oh, hot trash.
Just like
hot trash.
Did these people ever even look at what a pinball game is, or did they just get told, well, there's these flippers and a ball and some things to bounce off of? That's the end. No, these are legit. They look like legit tables. We'll have to see what the playability is and what level of difficulty Zen applied to him, but so that's something to be applauded for sure.
You can also get this through Apple One as well. So if you decide to bundle Apple Arcade, we're doing this ad for Apple here, seems now, Chris. We'll see if you
Where's my
bundle Apple
kickback?
Arcade. Yeah, where's my affiliate code? So it looks like you can like do this Apple One thing. So if you have Apple One, you've got this along with Apple TV and all these other services as well. So that seems pretty decent.
So we mentioned that there's 12 tables going to be available at the start. So just so you know what they are here, we have Dragons, Trolls, Panda, Little Pony. Also then, we have Adventureland, which is a phenomenal table. Son of Zeus,
Yeah.
also a phenomenal table.
Awesome table.
Then we have Castle Storm, which is, again, one of the Zen originals that I play all the time, as is Wild West Rampage. So, in terms of Zen originals,
There's some great tables in there.
These are some really good ones. And then they're including for the Williams, Attack from Mars, Getaway, Medieval Madness, and there's a question mark as to what the 12th table is. I saw Pinball Wiz 45B seems to think it's Theater of Magic, which would make sense. That's a fairly beginner-friendly table.
Yeah, it's a good one to put in. That or Attack from Mars.
Yeah, So it probably is going to be Tom. Those will be your first 12, I imagine. And then I absolutely have no doubt that it's going to be a rotation of tables.
Oh, they're going to swap them in and out. Yeah, expect the content to change in here.
Yeah.
This is essentially. It almost sounds like the strategy they were using for their Dave and Buster's machines, where they were going to swap titles in and out, based on what people are playing and what the stats are telling them.
Well, and if you think about it again, so
you're going to do that.
So here we have Dreamworks as representing three of the IPs here. What's Dreamworks' biggest IP? Shrek.
Yeah.
So you can almost guarantee there's going to be a Shrek table at some point. Also, you have the guy mentioned, hey, would we bring something like Megamind into this? Who knows? I mean, there's quite a few DreamWorks titles that could be
heaps of DreamWorks titles.
Aliens versus Monsters versus Aliens. I think would be an easy fit. Shoot, you could do that and replace a Biolab.
Yes, please.
With that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that DreamWorks, obviously a lot of IP going on there. Hasbro, that's who's My Little Pony. Well, who else does Hasbro have? Transformers.
Yep.
Now, would you do movies? No, too violent. I think they're going for more kid friendly. So you're dealing with the animated shows. Would they do G.I. Joe? I kind of doubt it. But G.I. Joe is a Hasbro property, so that's a possibility.
Yep.
There's a lot of toy lines that Hasbro has that could easily be have pinball machines made of.
Oh yeah.
In the pinball show, they were hinting at other IP that they have. And I don't know though if that was going to be for this or for the general. So let's put on our thinking caps here, Jared.
Righto.
When we talked to Mel, he said before the end of the year, there's going to be 11 tables. He said playable, I believe. Did he say playable? Or that just announced? I'm kind of sketchy on that.
I'm not super sure on there. Let's just say 11 tables.
Okay, 11 tables. So let's think about it. Let's go through here. We have these 4 tables right here for Zen Pinball Party, right?
Yeah.
Then we have the 2 from Star Wars, which is Mando.
That's your 6.
Right, Mando and collectibles.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have the 3 new originals. So that being Noir, which we have an update, and we're going to show that in just a tiny moment. So we have Noir. We have the Steampunk Pirate, whatever that's going to be called.
Name pending based on the competition.
Right. And then Mystery Third Table that's been announced.
Yep.
So we're at 9 tables right there. Okay. Which leaves. Wait, am I doing my math right? 6, 9, yeah. Which leaves 2 more.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
I might say that me and Jared have a clue as to what those are. We're not going to tell what they are. We're not even going to hint what they are or where they possibly
No.
could go. But
And don't ask us.
you ain't going to get an answer.
Because the answer will be no.
Right. Just nope. But it seems like, yeah, we know the roadmap. These are, I've seen what these 11 is, and they're all original. They're not, they're all original IP, which is, again, what Mel was saying. These are ground up, built from the ground up tables.
Yep. Stuff you've never seen before.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff leading into the end of the year, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll actually get pinball effects. Again, now it seems like we're looking at December.
Yeah, because we said, like earlier in the year, we thought that we might be starting to see some builds floating around maybe September, I think was our call, wasn't it? And so far, it's been very quiet on the Western Front. So perhaps this is going to be a December launch. I think the Apple Arcade
I think that's
offering
close.
is going to be next month.
Yeah.
Would be my call on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you hunt down the best Apple Arcade deals, folks, and get your 6 months if you can. I think that's a great that's an amazing deal if you can get 6 months free on it. Like that's just
all right.
Sign me up.
Should we take a look at the Noir update? You haven't seen this at all, have you?
No, because I've been so deep in house stuff. I have not watched the latest the pinball show. Sorry, Zen. So yeah, this will be reaction video from me.
Okay, I'm gonna. Odds are
without sound, obviously, because I can't.
Yeah, without sound. Well, I muted it anyway because I don't know if there's any content that we're not allowed to have copyright availability to. But I just queued up to where it was in the pinball show, and hopefully this will work. Hey, look! Oh, I knew that was going to happen. It loves to jump the spot in the video. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There's our start.
There we go.
All right. Well, here, I'm just going to leave it on a freeze frame right there. Because right off the bat, you can see, hey, look, 3D models of things.
Hey, yes, we got 3D models.
The cup is 3D model. The phone is now 3D model. The car is now 3D model. The gun here is a 3D model. We've got our, apparently this is the finalized version of our character.
Private Eye, yes.
Private Eye. You'll notice the back ramp area here has been adjusted.
It still looks pretty long.
Yes. Right now, it is a whole mess of yellow light, which I have my thoughts about.
This reminds me so much of the Munsters Ellie. And I did not like the design choice in that game. It's just very boring to look at.
Yeah. So
there needs to be some pizzazz in this.
So let me play the video here, and you can see it in motion. Get a little better shot of what's going on here.
So there's that thing in the middle, whatever that is.
Yeah. So let's pause on this here.
There's some flip-flops.
Right? So this is kind of a little spinner action.
No, I've seen those. I haven't seen those since Brighter Pinball. Those are the things that divert the ball into the eyes. It's like basically a left-right flip-flop diverter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Okay.
It looks like it.
I'll continue the video here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there went the ball.
Ooh, evidence.
There's our phone.
Telephone.
There's our modeled car. There's our ramp.
Yeah. Well, let's pause on that.
Yep, pausing.
Okay, so that's still got way too many bends in it for my liking.
At least there's lights on it now.
But have a look at those signs. They're magnets.
That's what it looks like, right?
That's a ball lock.
That's what I was thinking. So this would make it have sense then.
Yep.
For having such a long thing.
Ball lock.
Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we thinking 6-ball multi-ball?
And we did suggest early on when we saw the prototype shots of this that's what that thing was going to be, like a 13-ball multi-ball thing. Like because
why else would you need that much ramp?
Yeah, that's right. And that's again a little bit like Flight 2000 with its ball chamber locking mechanism. You can imagine that if they orchestrate this well, the balls are going to basically go and they're going to roll down in unison.
I'm going to want to see, but it looks like we're actually which way is the ball shooting? Because doesn't this dump into the car? Where's this ramp dump into? Or does this ramp go? Oh no, it goes underneath the car. Yeah, so there's probably a
Yeah,
flipper down here, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just go see if you can.
All right, hold on. We're gonna get a
Let's
better
see if we get
view.
another play.
We're gonna see. Do you see these wisps of smoke?
Yeah, there's some particle effects going on
Uh-huh.
there.
Okay,
Oh,
hold on.
look, it's a roto target.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna back up before we talk about rows.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so here
Rose
let
is
me
in
let me
there.
look here.
Yes, there's
Um,
a flipper, upper flipper. Can you see?
yes, there it is, right there.
So
Yeah,
that's how you get to the
yeah.
locks. Okay,
So that's how
cool,
you get there.
cool.
Okay. So that came around. Yeah, we're just gonna let this play out rather than me trying to.
Just freeze frame it.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, show us the ball lock assembly. That'd be really cool if they did. That's what
Okay.
we want.
So this thing with Rose, I like this. This is an interesting toy, doing a little
Yeah,
Zeotrope action.
yeah, definitely a
So she's our femme fatale. Obviously, we didn't
yeah.
know she was actually going to be in the table, but she certainly is. Okay, watch this. I think there's some rotation going on. Maybe no, no. Oh,
Oh, I
there it
do like
is.
some.
Look at that toy.
Oh, hey, that's cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yep.
It's an interesting mechanism for your spiraling here. There's our finished good guy,
Yeah, right.
and I'm not sure if there's anything else after this. Just more angles of him animated,
That's just
hanging out
I'm
of the
just looking
phone.
at the yeah, that's just rolling gameplay.
Yeah. So again, smoke coming off the tee, particle effect going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at this angle right here.
Uh-huh.
My only suggestion here, it's an extremely muted table.
Mm,
And I would love it if the inserts had more color. And I
yeah.
want the inserts to be bright, like really have a flash.
Yep.
You've got, and the light show has to be on point. Really, you got to step up the light game because,
On this you do.
yeah,
Because
because
there's
if you
not much else to look at.
now if you count how many lights are actually going to be on the table, we're sub 100.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
So that's not a lot. And all of the modern tables that are coming out now are pushing past 200 easily, going into the 350 territory.
Uh-huh.
It's the area that I want Zen to work on most. And I think with a black and white table like this, you could take a lot of cues from something like Centaur. So rather
You
than
could.
have everything be yellow, let's spruce them up with some blue. You got your couple of your reds, the yellows, some blue. I think that would just be give it some more pop here and there.
Yeah, have the main playfield like black and white,
Yeah,
but there needs to be more vibrancy. From what I've seen here, it's just red and
red and some
yellow.
yellow.
So
Yeah,
it seems. Look, I don't know. Maybe the nemesis of the lighting is going to make this a non-issue. Like
yeah,
when you actually see it really getting into gameplay.
right.
But
Because they said in this that the lighting pass is still not complete.
okay, yeah, right.
Yes, these are final renders on the car and the gun and our character here. So I know those are
Yep.
final renders, but there's still other graphics that they're still adjusting and working on. I would love, 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 love if this is supposed to be San Francisco or whatever. Have fog roll in.
Oh
Could you
yeah.
imagine if fog obscured the playfield, or like if fog acted as a blind and obscured your
Oh
flippers?
yeah.
And then
I
think
thought
about
that'd
it:
be
when the
awesome.
ball breaks through the fog, there'd be that swirl,
Oh
right?
jeez.
Just
Now that's what I'm
oh.
talking about. Yeah,
Or how
that
about
would be
this?
incredible.
How about this? You have fog, and then you have rain. And as the ball rolls through the rain, that's the ball trail. Is the rain
The rain
splashing up
kicking
the
off.
water kicking off the ball? You don't have to
Oh
actually have it
yeah.
affect the ball. How it moves on the table,
No,
but
just
have visually. If you've got the ability to do particle effects, let's do some particle effects, right?
now see that is a sort of see those effects. That's the sort of thing that would fit super well into this theme.
Yeah.
Like those subtle thematic effects rather than big in your face lighting effects.
Okay, I just saw we have a.
Um,
Oh, I can't stop it in time. There is a blue there. I guess I need
there's a
something
blue.
more down here.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to
Even
be
if
color changing.
you
I
know
reckon
what,
they
even
might
having
actually be color
the
changing, like
posts
lit,
be a color.
like red.
Yeah, enough of the red. Blue. Make the post blue.
Okay.
I mean that would be, or make them clear. I don't care. Just not this whatever this is.
Smoke.
And
It's
then
smoke color.
yeah,
It
so
looks like there needs to be art on top of those slingshots as well. Like they seem
probably
very
yeah.
bare. Yeah.
I mean, even and here's another thing: the rubber will make the rubber look like actual rubber. Right now, it's a
Mm.
stylized, painted to match the theme of everything. But
Mm.
no, the rubber, make it if it's black, make it black. You know,
Yeah.
I want my parts. Your art that you've painted, yes, can be all these grays and stuff, but I want my actual parts on the table to represent
To
real parts. So these are obviously
chrome.
metal posts, and the screws, those need to be chromed,
Yep.
or nickel plated, whatever. This
Yep.
is it's a clear piece of plastic. Make it a clear piece of plastic, not this stylized
Smoke.
frosted, gray.
Weirdness.
I don't need
Yep.
my habit trails to be chromed. If you want to make them look like they've been powder coated, I'm fine with that.
Mm. Yep.
But I would prefer to be chrome because anything that would catch light and give
Oh,
some
it needs
bling,
it.
it
I,
needs
I
that bling factor, and right now it does not have that.
no. I would actually say that I would predict that if this isn't the final
It's
texture
not.
pass over this, then you can expect a lot of chrome in this table because have a look at the lock system up the back. That's got rails all throughout it.
Yeah,
That's going to be Chrome City up there.
it needs to be.
It is for sure. Like they wouldn't keep it this flat.
Yeah,
There's no way they would. Because if you think like you're dead right, if this had a whole lot of chrome texture on it, it's actually going to look pretty good.
because it's not. Again, it's not that it needs all this color, but it needs something that catches whatever light is there.
It needs to pop.
It
Yeah,
needs to
there needs
pop.
to be elements that actually have more visual weight in the playfield,
Yeah.
and that is all the things like ramps, like the ramp surfaces. I mean, you can't really do much with that right ramp, which is essentially emulating bitumen or tarmac.
Right.
But you can maybe look at the walls.
Yeah,
and,
you can make the walls, silver.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
mirrored. Make them. Oh, would you imagine mirrors? Ooh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there's lots of possibilities here. So, like the thing that I like about this is they're showing us the iterations they're doing on this particular table in the wild as they're doing it to an
Well,
extent.
I was gonna say to an extent. I don't know. I'm of the firm opinion that Zen is much farther on this table than they're letting on.
Potentially.
I think that they're obviously, as you get closer to the release of things, you've compressed how long it all took into monthly bits of, hey, let me show you something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is much farther along than whatever. Here's some actual action. See, even the balls right now aren't nice and nope, that was it.
Yeah.
They're not.
That's all
nice
you get.
and,
3 seconds.
They're not even.
Okay.
They're not even nice and silver.
They're not even textured yet.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely a textured pass to be done over this table, which is exciting because the bones of this are starting to look better.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the concerns I had when I saw the first render are sort of out the window now, which is good. So this one will be an interesting one to flip.
So I wanted to let's swing back around to our designers because there's some other news with the designers.
Yeah.
One, Peter Deep Garaffel. He is now head of the department.
HOD, nice work.
Yes. So he got that promotion. I don't actually, he's probably been that for a little while, but it's now official. And then they also added another new designer who apparently is not who did Trolls, but also came up through the ranks the same way that Peter Kovacs did. His name is Daniel Dolby-Vigh, Vigh. So he's also one of the new designers. So it looks like we have 3 new designers and 3 of the old school still.
And that seems to correspond with Zen's plans for expansion for their pinball division. Like, they're starting to get the headcount in. And what's really good here is they're promoting from within.
Yeah.
So they're actually taking the talent from within rather than going out and getting some pinball designers. Although, if you think about that, how good would it be to actually have veteran pinball designers on the Zen pinball team doing playfield layouts?
Oh, right.
Oh, imagine if they could get even some of the new and upcoming designers that we've seen like do layouts for all these American Pinball and all these other ones that come out,
I told
get
Zen,
those on stuff.
I told Zen that you guys need to do tell us who the designers of these tables are because that gets us excited about it also. And
Just as we would be excited if there's, like a top designer that we love out there.
well,
And we
like
found out,
speaking
oh
of
wow,
which, Steve Ritchie is now working for Jersey Jack Pinball,
JJP.
back
Yeah.
partnering with Pat Lawler.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's gonna be interesting.
that's going to be
'Cause
interesting indeed.
Because we had Dialed In, which was classic Pat.
Yeah.
And I was just playing that the other day. Actually, it's like once you get past some of the weirdness of it, it's a fun game to flip that thing. So if we're getting these two designers to play together again, that could be some pretty interesting stuff coming out of Jason
Well,
Jack.
it would also be nice if Richie could be, shaken up a little bit and made to strive for something new. I think he was kind of coasting at Stern.
Yeah, definitely.
so-
Jersey Jack will push him there because they've got
Yeah.
a much more advanced platform that
Right.
you can do stuff with there.
Right.
So I mean, just look at Guns N' Roses. That thing is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. But
So,
anyway, so hopefully Zen will make a bigger deal about who their designers of these tables are, because we do want to keep track of. Like I said, I would have written off My Little Pony completely if it wasn't that I heard that Thomas was the designer on it. Now I'm interested.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
it's amazing how that works.
Yeah, and they should actually start doing featurettes on them. Like
Yeah.
they should actually give them some exposure out there in the pinball community, because this is designers make or break a table. People will buy titles based on the designer alone. They'll say, "Oh no, it's a Richie." Well, then just sign me up for that.
Now, the only other thing that came out of the pinball show regarding Apple Pin Party, Zen Pinball
I think I
Party,
like Apple
Pin
Pin Party. Let's call it that.
was when they were interviewing Mel. He said something to the effect that this is a different team than the Pinball Effects team.
Right. So
Which
different
makes
division.
sense.
Yeah.
Because I believe their mobile division is different. So I'm curious to know what the division is, though. Is it that the pinball side is all designed by, the pinball division, but then all of and again, think about the Williams app with all the add-ons and the pay system and all that stuff. That's clearly mobile division, doing their thing. So I'm wondering if that's where the divide basically is.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to say though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably a question to put down as one that we should ask Mel.
Oh,
when we get him on the
absolutely, because
show
I'm sure we'll
next.
get him on the show again within the next couple of months. There's going to be something for him to come onto our show about, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
But that was one of those things that I just couldn't quite. Is he saying what he's saying? I'm not sure what he's saying. And unfortunately, our hosts didn't dig deeper.
Well, which is what happens, because that's not the format of the pinball show. It's a marketing platform.
I will
platform.
I will also. It was pretty funny watching Bobby read the teleprompter.
Oh, really?
There was some pretty spectacular teleprompter reading going on
Like
there.
going like the darting eyes.
No, like looking away from your guest and reading it, and I stumbled on the word. Let me read that again.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Well, it is. Mel says Mel got onto one of our episodes where we were sort of criticizing this a bit, or he goes, "Yeah, you can't fluff your way through some of these licenses. You got to be on script."
Yep.
So if that's what Bobby and Rose have to work to, then that's what they have to work to.
Yep.
They can't help that. If they have to literally word for word that script, then it's either a lot of preparation beforehand so it looks seamless, or just do what you can when you're on camera.
I'm just sensing there might be a drinking game coming out of this.
A drinking game. Or do tell. I've got a lot of gin to get through. So yeah. Tell me this drinking game.
Well, no, it would just be a question of every time you realize that somebody's reading off a prompter or does a
you
miscue
take
off the
a shot.
prompter, or
Oh,
I mean, it's only a 15-minute show, so you've got to get hammered quick, right?
Well, you would. Keep up the good work, guys.
Right, yeah. So anyway, that's all the info that you need to know in case you didn't bother watching it yourself, in case you would rather watch us, which we would appreciate.
We do indeed appreciate you watching us. It's always good to see. Like it's so good, even for me to like come in after the fact, after Chris has done the premiere, and actually see the interaction
Yeah.
in the premieres. I love to see what people are thinking about what our commentary is saying. Like it's really good to see if we're on track or whether you think we're completely smoking it.
Yep.
Or not. So thanks for coming in and actually being live and actually giving us a bit of feedback about it. It's really cool.
Okay. Next episode, hopefully we'll be on schedule, which means 2 weeks from now. I think we might be back into the swing of things. We'll find out.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think too, potentially this reset break, we've essentially had an unofficial summer break just like Zen have.
Yeah.
So perhaps what this will mean is that we're more in sync with the drops for the pinball show now. We won't have to be a week late. We might be able to do it after the show goes live if we're
that, or they'll change their schedule again too. So
yeah. There is that. Yeah.
But that is all that's all that we prepared for today. I mean,
that's enough. Jeez, we've gone well and truly over an hour here.
Right? Yeah. We've given the proper time due necessary for our massive absence. But we always do encourage, hey, folks, if you have ideas for topics that you want us to cover, we do cover pinball that is of the now, not pinball that you played 10 years ago.
No. We're essentially a news format show. So
yes.
Episodes, this is why I didn't really do a lot of migration when I merged the site over. Like a lot of the stuff 6 or 7 months ago is kind of irrelevant now. Like we're kind of a news format. So yeah.
But yeah, so if there's anything though that you want us to take a look at, if there's any game that's out there that we it's popped up that's not on our radar that you want us to take a look at, if there's a particular gripe that you have that you want to see what our take on it is, please let us know. Hit us up on Twitter. Mine's right there. Jared's is right there. But more importantly, the show's is right there. So, hit us up there. Let us have an idea. Or if you want to go old school and drop us an email, it's BlahCade@gmail.com. And we'll take it under advisement and see if we can't work it into a future episode.
That's
it's something that we have an actual take on, because there's some things that
we just don't.
No.
Because we don't have access to things.
Don't ask us about VPX. I'm just saying.
No.
Don't ask us about it, because that's somebody else's podcast that needs to happen. That's all I'm saying about that.
And honestly, there could actually be a thing there for someone if they wanted to start a podcast about, PC-based virtual pinball. Like, it's a thing. Get your thinking caps on, folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But until then, well, we'll think about what we're going to talk about next time. But according to Jared, it's probably going to be
stuff and things.
All right. Until next time, folks. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.